Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams, and with me is Vaibhav Srivastav with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister addresses virtual global vaccine summit, pledges $15 million to International Vaccine Alliance, Gavi. India and Australia elevates their partnership to comprehensive strategic partnership. India's role in Indo-Pacific region critical in the years ahead, says Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 48%. Government bans 960 blacklisted foreign nationals from travelling to India for 10 years. Disbursal of third installment to women Jan Dhan account holders begins tomorrow under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, and veteran filmmaker Basu Chatterjee passes away. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today addressed the virtual global vaccine summit hosted by UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson, in which over 50 countries participated. India today pledged $15 million to Gavi, the International Vaccine Alliance. In his address, the Prime Minister said the COVID-19 pandemic in some ways has exposed the limitations of global cooperation, and that for the first time in recent history, the humankind faces a clear common enemy. He said India stands in solidarity with the world in these challenging times. He said India's civilization teaches to see the world as one family, and that during this pandemic it had tried to live up to this teaching. He also said India did so by sharing the country's available stocks of medicines with over 120 countries, by forging a common response strategy in its immediate neighbourhood, and by providing specific support to countries that sought it, while also protecting India's own vast population. Referring to Gavi, Mr. Modi said it is not just a global alliance but also a symbol of global solidarity, and a reminder of that by helping others, we can also help ourselves. The Prime Minister said India has a vast population and limited health facilities, and that it understands the importance of immunization. He added that one of the first programs launched by his government was Mission Indradhanush, which aims to ensure full vaccination of the country's children and pregnant women, including those in the remote parts of the vast nation. He also said in order to expand protection, India has added 6 new vaccines to its national immunization program. The Prime Minister elaborated that India had digitized its entire vaccine supply line and developed an electronic vaccine intelligence network to monitor the integrity of its cold chain. Mr. Modi said India is also the world's foremost producer of vaccines, and that it is fortunate to contribute to the immunization of about 60% of the world's children. He added that India recognizes and values the work of Gavi. That is why it became a donor to Gavi while still being eligible for Gavi support. The Prime Minister said India's support to Gavi is not only financial, but that India's huge demand also brings down the global price of vaccines for all, saving almost $400 million for Gavi over the past 5 years. He reiterated that India stands in solidarity with the world along with its proven capacity to produce quality medicines and vaccines at low cost, its own domestic experience in rapidly expanding immunization, and its considerable scientific research talent. The first ever India-Australia virtual summit held between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison, External Affairs Minister, said there were 2 joint declarations as a result of the discussions between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison today. Briefing Media Secretary East Vijay Thakur Singh said these include the joint declaration on elevating the relationship from a strategic partnership to a comprehensive strategic partnership. She said the document covers a range of areas in which the 2 countries will collaborate bilaterally and even at the multilateral fora.
Prime Minister Modi emphasized that the relationship is important not only from the bilateral perspective, but it is a relationship that is a factor of stability in the Indo-Pacific region and in fact in the world, because we are 2 countries that uphold the values of democracy, rule of law and respect for international law.
The second joint declaration is on a shared vision for maritime cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Besides that, there were 7 agreements which were signed. There was a framework arrangement on cyber and cyber-enabled technologies. There was an MOU on mining and processing of critical and strategic minerals.
India and Australia today announced a comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries after the virtual summit. They have also jointly announced a declaration on a shared vision for maritime cooperation in the Indo-Pacific. Both the countries also signed 7 agreements after talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Australian counterpart Scott Morrison. 7 MOUs include framework arrangement on cyber and cyber-enabled critical technology cooperation, cooperation in the field of mining and processing of critical and strategic minerals, arrangement concerning mutual logistics support. Both the countries also signed MOUs implementing arrangement concerning cooperation in defense science and technology, cooperation in the field of public administration and governance reforms, cooperation in vocational education and training, and on water resources management. After the talks, Prime Minister Modi said both had an outstanding discussion covering the entire expanse of relationship between the two countries. Mr. Modi said with comprehensive strategic partnership between the two countries, India and Australia aspire to achieve yet new heights. The recovery rate of COVID-19 cases has improved to around 48% in the country. A total of 3,804 people affected by COVID-19 have recovered during the last 24 hours. So far, over 104,000 cases have been cured. Presently, there are 106,737 active cases and all are under active medical supervision. Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR) has further ramped up the testing capacity for detecting the novel coronavirus in infected persons. The number of government labs has been increased to 498 and private labs have been increased to 212. As many as 139,485 samples have been tested in the last 24 hours. The total number of samples tested thus far is over 42,42,000. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said Delhi needs to ramp up testing coupled with aggressive surveillance, contact tracing and stringent containment and perimeter control activities. His statement comes amid the rising number of COVID-19 cases and fatality in the national capital. The minister chaired a high-level meeting through video conferencing to review the preparedness for prevention and control of COVID-19 in the city. As all districts of Delhi are now affected by COVID-19, Dr. Harshvardhan pointed out that the rising cases, high positivity rates and low testing levels in many districts are worrisome. During the meeting, he said, while the average testing per million population in Delhi is 2018, some districts such as Northeast with 517 tests per million population and Southeast with 506 tests per million population are far below. He added that while the UT's positivity rate of last week was 25.7%, several districts reported figures above 38%. Terming the high rate of infection in the healthcare workers as a serious issue, Dr. Harshvardhan said it indicates poor infection prevention control practices in healthcare settings and needs to be attended on priority. He stressed on the immediate need and importance of scaling up of testing with health infrastructure enhancements along with better clinical management of the COVID-19 cases for effective case management and reduction of fatality rate. He also pointed out that bed availability is to be rapidly increased in view of the current rapid rise of cases, along with avoiding unnecessary delay in the admission of cases.
The Himachal Pradesh government has spent 4 crore rupees for bringing back residents stranded across the country to the state by arranging transportation. So far, 170,000 people have returned to the state amid the COVID-19 pandemic. A report.
The state government is making every effort in bringing back their residents from other states. According to the state government, a total of rupees 4 crore have been spent in bringing back more than 51,000 people stuck at various parts of the country by arranging 2,200 buses and 13 trains. Interacting with media person in Shimla today, Chief Minister Jairam Thakur said that his government has succeeded in controlling community spread of COVID-19 by ensuring to keep returnees arriving across the country at institutional quarantine. He said the state was having only one active case during the first first week of May, which has now rose up drastically after the return of 1.70 lakh state natives. Meanwhile, testing capacity of COVID-19 in the state has been increased to 1,400 per day. Recovery rate has also been increased to 40% in the state. However, death rate is 1.52%. Sanjeev Sundariyal, AIR News, Shimla.
Kerala today recorded the highest spike of 94 new COVID-19 cases and 3 deaths on a single day. We have a report.
The total active cases in Kerala rose to 844 and the state COVID death toll reached 14. 39 people recovered from the disease as informed by Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan while addressing the media after the COVID review meeting in Thiruvananthapuram. The deceased are identified as a Palakkad native who had returned from Chennai, a Malappuram native who recently returned from Abu Dhabi and another person hailing from Kollam district. Among the newly confirmed cases, 84 are returnees from abroad and other states. Over 1,70,000 people are under observation in Kerala. The State Chief Nodal Officer Dr. Amar Fettel told AR News that on account of increase of COVID cases, preventive measures need to be strengthened in the state. Meanwhile, as monsoon intensifies in Kerala, Met Department predict heavy rain in coming days. Yellow alert is issued in 9 districts tomorrow. Fishermen are warned from venturing into the sea. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
As part of its mission Begin Again, the Maharashtra government today issued revised guidelines regarding services that will be allowed from tomorrow. Though the Mumbai metropolitan region accounts for more than 55,000 cases, the state government has decided to allow inter-district movement of people within the region. More from our correspondent.
In its revised order, the Maharashtra government has allowed inter-district movement in the Mumbai metropolitan region, which includes Mumbai city, Mumbai suburban, Thane, Palghar and part of Raigad districts. Tomorrow onwards, all shops and marketplaces on one side of the road will be allowed to open, while shops on the other side will open on the next day. It adds that gardens, parks, gyms, be it closed or open air, will remain closed. Printing and home delivery of newspapers can begin from Sunday, while private offices can reopen next week with 10% staff. Offices and staff of educational institutions can operate for non-teaching purposes, which includes developing e-content, evaluation of answer sheets, and declaration of results. Local authorities have been instructed to ensure social distancing and hygiene norms are followed by all. Nisha Rani, AIR News, Mumbai.
The government today banned blacklisted 960 foreign nationals from travelling to India for 10 years. The blacklisted foreign nationals were involved in Tablighi Jamaat activities. In April, the government had blacklisted the foreigners and cancelled their visas after finding their involvement in Tablighi Jamaat activities. The government will start sending the amount of 500 rupees to the women account holders of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana PMJDY for the month of June from tomorrow. The amount is being sent under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package. Department of Financial Services said beneficiaries can withdraw the amount on any day after 10th of June. Department of Financial Services said the amount will be sent as per timetable based on last digit of beneficiary's account number. 10,029 crore rupees were credited to 20.05 crore women Jan Dhan account holders as first installment. The number of women PMJDY account holders whose accounts have been debited by customer-induced transaction under first installment is 8.72 crore. 10,315 crore rupees were credited to 20.62 crore women Jan Dhan account holders with the second installment. The number of women PMJDY account holders whose accounts have been debited by customer-induced transaction under second installment is 9.7 crore. As part of the rupees 1.7 lakh crore Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan package, the government announced free food grains and cash payment to women and poor senior citizens and farmers. Railways Minister Piyush Goyal has praised the commendable deed of an RPF constable and announced a cash award to honour him. Inder Singh Yadav demonstrated an exemplary sense of duty when he ran behind a train to deliver milk for a 4-month-old child. More from our correspondent.
The woman Safia Hashmi was travelling along with her 4-month-old daughter from Belgaum to Gorakhpur. As the train entered platform number 1 of Bhopal station, the woman called the RPF constable Inder Singh Yadav and requested him to arrange milk for her daughter, who was continuously crying. She also informed the constable that she had been trying for milk from Belgaum but could not get it. The CCTV footage has been showed that the constable Inder Singh Yadav is sprinting on the platform holding his service rifle in one hand and the milk pouch in another to give it to the lady passenger in the moving train. The mother of the baby thanked Inder Singh Yadav and termed him as a real hero. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister addresses virtual global vaccine summit, pledges $15 million to International Vaccine Alliance, Gavi. India and Australia elevate their partnership to comprehensive strategic partnership. India's role in Indo-Pacific region critical in the years ahead, says Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 48%. Government bans 960 blacklisted foreign nationals from travelling to India for 10 years. Disbursal of third installment of Women Jan Dhan account holders begins tomorrow under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana. And veteran filmmaker Basu Chatterjee passes away. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
अरे बबलू, लॉकडाउन खुलते ही टहलने निकल पड़े। महामारी अभी फैली हुई है।
सरपंच जी टहलने नहीं, कहाँ पे वापस जा रहे हैं?
तुझे डर नहीं लगता वायरस पकड़ लेगा?
पहले थोड़ा बहुत डर लगता था, फिर पता चला कि अगर मैंने पूरी सावधानी बरती तो ये बीमारी होने की संभावना कम है। सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है ये मास्क। काम पर मास्क हमेशा पहनूंगा, समय समय पर हाथ धोता रहूंगा और दूसरों से हर वक्त कम से कम 2 गज की दूरी बनाए रखूंगा। खुद को, दूसरों को और अपने परिवार वालों को भी सुरक्षित रखूंगा।
अरे भाई, मेरी जिम्मेदारी बनती है तुझे चेतावनी देना, तो दे दिया।
जब देश के मेडिकल और स्वच्छता कर्मचारी रोज कोरोना वायरस से लड़ने का काम कर रहे हैं तो हमारी भी तो जिम्मेदारी बनती है अपना काम करने की।
बबलू, तुझे कुछ हो गया तो?
हजारों लोग इस बीमारी को हराकर ठीक हो चुके हैं और अगर किसी कारण मुझे ये बीमारी हो भी जाए तो सरकार ने अस्पताल में हमारे इलाज के लिए पर्याप्त व्यवस्था कर रखी है। ये घबराने का वक्त नहीं, एक दूसरे का हौसला बढ़ाने का वक्त है।
अरे ऐसे क्या देख रहा है? तू काम पे जाएगा, मैं नहीं जाऊंगा, नाक निकल जाएगी मेरी। चलो
मास्क।
हाँ, मास्क।
अरे नाक तो ढक लो।
हाँ।
कोरोना वायरस से हमें लड़ाई जारी रखनी पड़ेगी और उससे डर कर नहीं, पूरी सावधानी के साथ डट कर चलिए। रुकी जिंदगी को आगे बढ़ाएं, देश को आत्मनिर्भर बनाएं। जय हिंद।
Veteran filmmaker Basu Chatterjee, known for his soulful cinema, passed away following age-related health issues. He was 93. Chatterjee, who is survived by his daughters Sonali Bhattacharya and Rupali Guha, died in his sleep at his Santa Cruz residence this morning. The veteran filmmaker's cinema was progressive, unhurried, and a slice of everyday life. He preferred actors like Vidya Sinha, Amol Palekar and Zarina Wahab for his inspiring middle-class stories. Some of his best-known works are Us Par, Chitchor, Rajnigandha, Piya Ka Ghar, Khatta Meetha, Baaton Baaton Mein, Swami, Apne Par Aaye and Shauqeen. His work with Amitabh Bachchan in Manzil, Rajesh Khanna in Chakravyuh, Dev Anand and Tina Munem in Manpasand has developed cult classic status over the years. In 1992, Basu Chatterjee won the National Film Award for Best Film on Family Welfare for Durga. Besides the very successful detective TV show Byomkesh Bakshi and the popular Rajni, the renowned filmmaker also directed numerous shows like Darpan and Ek Prem Katha for Doordarshan. Before filmmaking, Basu worked as an illustrator and cartoonist with the weekly tabloid Blitz for 18 long years. He ventured into the industry by assisting Basu Bhattacharya in the Raj Kapoor and Wahida Rahman starrer Teesri Kasam in 1966, which later won the National Film Award for Best Feature Film. Eventually, he made his directorial debut with Sara Akash in 1969, which won him the Filmfare Best Screenplay Award. President of the Indian Film and Television Directors Association, Ashok Pandit, said the last rites of the filmmaker were performed at the Santa Cruz Crematorium in the presence of close family members. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief over the demise of Basu Chatterjee. The film fraternity, led by Amitabh Bachchan, also condoled the death of the director, who placed the middle class and its everyday joys and struggles at the center of his cinematic world. In our series, Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Dr. Anant Mohan, head of pulmonary medicine, AIMS, has advised people not to take medicine like hydroxychloroquine or anti-malarial without a prescription by a doctor.
Please do not take medicines such as azithromycin, other antibiotics, antivirals or hydroxychloroquine or other antimalarials without a proper prescription by a doctor. Do not self-medicate.
Jacinta Gunjal, Senior Nursing Officer, AIMS, has stressed on the need to break the chain of infection.
Social distancing is a non-pharmaceutical infection prevention and control intervention to break the chain of infection.
In an effort to guard against fake news being circulated on various platforms, we bring you our segment on fact-checking and myth busters. A widely circulated video on social media claims that COVID-19 is a bacteria which can be treated with aspirin. Government has clarified that coronavirus is a virus and there is no specific medicinal cure available yet. Air India will open bookings from 5 p.m. tomorrow for 75 additional flights to destinations in US and Canada, including New York, Newark, Chicago, Washington, San Francisco, Vancouver and Toronto under the third phase of Vande Bharat mission. Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said the flights will operate between the 9th and 30th of this month. He said those who wish to travel to the US and Canada and fulfill required entry conditions can book themselves on these outbound flights. The minister said some foreign airlines have already carried out evacuation flights and are planning to operate more flights. He said these flights will also take foreign nationals. Indians continue to return home on Vande Bharat flights from different parts of the world. Yesterday, 2,716 people returned from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Doha, Muscat, Moscow, Jeddah and Kiev. The second phase of Vande Bharat mission, which started on the 17th of May, will continue till the 13th of this month, is progressing smoothly. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Anurag Shrivastava said so far, Air India has operated 103 flights under this phase to bring back stranded Indian nationals. The Indian Navy has also made sorties to bring back returnees from Sri Lanka and the Maldives. After the commencement of the Vande Bharat mission from the 7th of May, a total of 454 flights, including foreign carriers, have brought back stranded Indians. As of date, 107,123 Indians have returned. These include 17,485 migrant workers, 11,511 students and 8,633 professionals. More than 32,000 Indians have returned through land border immigration checkpoints from Nepal, Bhutan and Bangladesh. A total of 3,48,565 people have registered their requests with Indian missions for repatriation to India on compelling grounds.
Under the Vande Bharat mission, 546 stranded Indian nationals from Dubai and Dhaka in Bangladesh reached Gaya in Bihar today. Out of these, 376 are from Dubai and 170 are from Dhaka. All persons from Dubai are from different parts of Bihar. Among the 170 people who returned from Dhaka, 91 are from Jharkhand. Passengers of Jharkhand were sent to their state by road, while those from Bihar were sent for quarantine for 7 days in different hotels at Bodh Gaya, arranged by the state government after thermal screening. Meanwhile, 146 persons who had come from Doha and 127 persons who came from Kyrgyzstan were sent home from hotels on completion of their quarantine period. Indian Navy ship INS Jalashwa has reached the Maldives capital of Male for the fourth round of evacuation of Indian nationals. The ship will sail tomorrow for Tuticorin in Tamil Nadu, carrying around 700 passengers. Indian High Commission in Male is making final arrangements in coordination with the Maldives authorities. Bus pickup has been arranged from different places in capital Male. Around 700 passengers have been kept in the main list, while there is a reserve list of a few dozen. Over 2,000 Indian nationals based in Maldives have been evacuated so far as a part of the Vande Bharat mission. Earlier, INS Jalashwa sailed twice and INS Magar once from Male to bring back around 1,500 people to Kochi in Kerala last month. 2 Air India flights operated from Male last month, while arrangements have also been made for chartered flights for companies and individual groups. Over 5,000 people have registered for evacuation from Maldives. which has also seen around 200 COVID-19 infections among Indian nationals. There are 3 Air India flights scheduled later this month. INS Jalashwa had also brought 685 people to Tuticorin this week from Sri Lanka as part of the Samudra Setu program under the Vande Bharat mission.
The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program today will bring you a special discussion on COVID-19. Dr. Lieutenant General Ved Chaturvedi, Senior Physician, Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi, will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800-115767. You can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by the hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on the FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our official YouTube channel News on Air Official. You can also follow us on the News on Air app for updates. In Gujarat, all the prominent temples including Somnath and Dwarka are all set to reopen for devotees from 8th of this month. Our correspondent reports that special arrangements have been made at the temples to contain the spread of COVID-19. A report.
Talking to AIR, General Manager of the famous Somnath Temple, Vijay Singh Chawda, said only 20 devotees will be allowed inside the temple at a time. Circles have been marked to ensure social distancing in the queues. Devotees will have to pass through sanitizing tunnel as well as temperature screening. The renowned Dwarkadish temple is also equipped with wood-based sanitizers and thermal screens in view of COVID-19. No devotees will be allowed inside the temple during the time of Aarti. A special desk has been created for the devotees at the famous Ambaji temple in Banaskantha district. There will be only one entry and exit point at the temple. One of the oldest Shamraji temple of Lord Vishnu was also thoroughly sanitized in view of COVID-19. Temple administration will provide free masks to devotees who will come to the temple without mask. Aparna Khund, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
At a time when the frontline workers across the country are fighting the war against novel coronavirus, in Arunachal Pradesh, a school teacher is rendering voluntary service to contain the viral infection. Our correspondent has filed this report.
John Panyang, a secondary school teacher at Ruksin in East Siang district, has set up a temporary screening center at the entry point of Ngolung Ralung village near Assam-Arunachal border. Mr. Panyang has built the screening center in a temporary hut using transparent polythene and bamboo and is equipped with a thermal screening machine, face mask, hand gloves and alcohol sanitizer. The school teacher said that he got training on screening techniques from government doctors who are also encouraging the initiative. He said in case of any high body temperature detected, the person is referred to Ruksin Community Health Center, first referral unit for medical support. Mr. Panyang has voluntarily contributed his salary for purchasing medical equipment and other construction materials for welfare of his village. With Profulla Kaman in East Siang district, Rakesh Dole, AIR News, Itanagar.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will witness minimum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius and maximum 34 degrees Celsius with generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata will experience partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. Minimum temperature in the metropolis will be 27 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 36 degrees. Mumbai will also witness partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum and maximum will be 26 degrees and 31 degrees respectively. In the south, Chennai will see a generally cloudy sky. Onto the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, minimum temperature will be 23 degrees, maximum 36 degrees. Srinagar, minimum temperature will be 12 degrees, while maximum will be around 26 degrees. Gilgit temperature will hover between 16 and 32 degrees Celsius with partly cloudy sky. Muzaffarabad, the sky will be partly cloudy with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister addresses virtual global vaccine summit, pledges $15 million to International Vaccine Alliance Gavi. India and Australia elevate their partnership to comprehensive strategic partnership. India's role in Indo-Pacific region critical in the years ahead, says Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to around 48%. Government bans 960 blacklisted foreign nationals from travelling to India for 10 years. Disbursal of third installment to Women Jan Dhan account holders begins tomorrow under Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, and veteran filmmaker Basu Chatterjee passes away. With that, we end the evening news. Good night.